Hello, everybody, and welcome to the completed games tier list, the 2026 edition. So, here we have every single game that we have completed, or either completed or are currently playing for the channel from the very beginning.
Uh, there are there are a few ones we left out. I think there was uh I know there was one that we decided to leave it out because otherwise it might take too long. But I mean, it's like those that stand out are all here. So,
Which one was that?
I could have sworn we left one out, didn't we?
No, we just took out the ones that we didn't actually. We have a couple in here that we played on our own, but the recording failed, like Edith Finch, because you said you still wanted to include that one, even though the
Uh-huh.
recording didn't work. But there were a couple games that were originally on here that we decided to take out because we hadn't actually been able to record them.
I there was I'm scared, but like again we didn't finish that. There was the one where we move like everyone's shopping bags, lost and found the airport,
Yeah, that one
but
didn't
that one
work.
didn't work. Uh,
So
okay.
everything should be here. Um, so the way this is going to work is I'm gonna go first. Ark is gonna pick one out for me to rank, and then I'll rank it. Then he'll rank it, and then I'll give him one to do, and then we'll just go back and forth like that instead of just going in a row because I feel like that makes it more interesting picking and choosing. So, Ark, I want you to pick first. What game should I talk about first?
Let's start with the most ambitious one and probably the most divisive between us. 100 line.
100 line. So, 100 line. It is. Well, I don't think it's the newest Kodaka game anymore. Um, it's we're like halfway through the game. A little over halfway through the game currently. We've finished the one half of the side. We've finished the big major route on that side, and now we're currently in the midst of the other major route on the other side. And Ark is right. We have this is probably the game we have the most disagreements about. Um, Mostly because the game's quality shifts so drastically between routes. Some routes are extremely good and some are extremely bad. Um, but overall, I would say that I like the majority of the characters, and I love a few. And there's a few that I love. Um, and while my gut instinct would be to put it up really high because I do really like the game, I can admit that there are several routes that are a little annoying, that have been kind of tedious and terrible, that have kind of soured a little bit of the experience, but I would still say overall, I still really like this game as a whole, and it is still one of the favorite things that we have played together so far. And
I don't know if
I am still looking forward to what is in store, especially since so far the current stuff that we're playing is really good.
I don't know if it's just on my end, but you're cutting out a lot on your end.
That might just be Discord. Hold on, your turn.
Uh, 100 line. Um, what do I say about this?
A lot of things.
At f- at first, it was extremely enjoyable.
Route
Route Zero,
Route Zero is
Route
incredibly good.
Route Zero was incredibly good, and if the entire game has just been Route Zero, this game would easily go right up in S or maybe even SS tier. But it's not. It's far from it. It has 99 other endings, and although we haven't
It
seen
has
them
a hundred.
all,
Actually, it has 100 other endings.
99 other endings, I said.
100 other
But
endings other than Route Zero.
oh, okay. Uh, and unfortunately, a lot of them are, for lack of a better term, horrible, just terrible. One of which, Call of Takumi, literally gave me lingering trauma that still affects me to this day. Um, the Kyotos, some of them I despise. I'm not even hate, despise. Others, well, means like one, Nozomi, I love. The rest,
Tsubasa.
unfortunately, no, I wouldn't say I love her. I mean, not as much
Really?
as Nozomi at least. Yes.
That's
The
shocking.
others, unfortunately, sticking with these Kyotos for so long and just learning so much about them is, to me, has always been a double-edged sword. Yes, you learn more about them, you can bond more with them, but at the same time, you learn more about them so you can more easily see how they might just crash and burn. And that unfortunately happened with a lot of these killers, because as of right now, I think there's more killers for me, which I wouldn't call quote unquote like than the ones I do, which is really unfortunate. But the the so that's the Kyotos. The routes, um, some of them were phenomenal. Route Zero, the Truth Route, um, the one we're currently on, which is turning out to be really good, and a couple other ones. But the fact of the matter is that there are so many others where it felt like they just ran out of ideas. Like Serial Battles, Box of Blessings was horrific. Call of Takumi was horrific. Uh, Multiple Itos, despite how funny the ending was for me, it was objectively terrible too. Uh, so this game, it has some great moments, but at the same time, it has really, 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 really overstayed its welcome to me. And I mean, the only reason I haven't stopped playing is because, first of all, I enjoy my interactions with my girlfriend Red, but also because this current route is actually shaping out to be pretty good, which and actually something new, which wasn't anything I could say about the ones in the past where it felt like just the same mind-numbing things over and again and again. It just, oh my god. So I would I say I like this game? Yes, I would say I like this game. Would I say I love it? Absolutely not. But it is bordering more toward dislike than like at this point. It's gonna go in C for me.
Okay. Okay, now I am going to pick a game for you. Okay, I want to hear your thoughts on Catherine Fullbody.
Okay, Catherine Fullbody. Well, um, on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, this game, Catherine was honestly a really, really enjoyable experience. The three girls, we got, well, no,
Two girls. I was like two girls, one
two
guy.
girls, two girls, two girls, one guy. We got to spend a lot of time with. We're all fine. I mean, one of them was a complete asshole. I don't recall her name. But uh, even
They're
her.
all three named Catherine.
I mean, I mean, I mean, yeah.
C.
Well,
Catherine, K. Catherine, and Rin.
the I see. When I say I don't remember her name, but I don't know if it's a C or K Catherine. But I just know like we
Is
love
it
to
the
call her bitch.
the succubus one?
Yes, because
That's C. Catherine.
C Catherine. Okay. Um, even for as much as I roll my eyes or groaned when she was on screen, and how much we just hated her presence in correlation with the player character. Even her asshole nature had a certain appeal to it, and plus the jabs toward her was really nice. Rin is
I'm already
easily the
just
best.
thinking back on our humor from the game, and it's making me laugh in hindsight.
Rin was easily the best. The friend group was all great. It it was gut wrenching to see more and more people of in the Baldur's story disappear. The overall story of the game and the questions the game asks and the puzzles, even though Red got stuck on one of them for like little hours, and that was honestly really funny. And
I'm glad you
even
find my
though
pain
like
funny.
and even though oh you do too, so shut up. And even though even though hearing the word edge over and over like a billion
Edge,
times
edge,
over the course of the
edge.
game got kind of grating sometimes. Overall, it was amazing game, and this is one of the games. Well, no, this all these most of these games. I'm really happy to have gone experiences, but this is definitely on like the higher end of like games where I'm just so happy to get introduced to, and I'm really happy I got to experience all the endings and see the story unfold. So, Catherine Fullbody, as an SS, I'm gonna go in like the top of the top where there's like
SS?
basically like almost no flaws. No, but the Kevin Full Body misses that just by a little bit. Um, I wouldn't put this game in S, but I will have it in A.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, Catherine for me has been a game that I have known about for God, how long was it? I first found out about it in high school, so 6, 7 years ago. 6 years ago. Um, and I'd always been interested in playing it myself. Um, Atlas games for to me are always good. Atlas is really good at making really good games. Um, oh, we left out Persona 5. That's what it was. I just remembered.
You've been thinking about it the entire time.
No, I just remembered it because Atlas made Persona.
Okay. Okay.
Because Persona 5 is on hiatus for now. Um, the Atlas always makes really good games. I've always liked Catherine Fullbody, and I going through it was a really fun experience. Just knowing everything that was up with the game, especially up with Rin specifically, and then I was so happy that you fell for Rin too, and that you figured out Erica was trans because that was like a big thing I was hoping you would figure out. Um, I love the characters. I love the game. Gameplay is 99% of the time really good. That 1% is really bad and really frustrating, but most of the time it's a pretty decent difficulty balance, I would say. Um we didn't get any of the bonus endings, so we didn't have to do any like extra levels. Like the Rin stuff has like 3 or 4 extra levels that you have to do, which we didn't have to do any of those. Um, thankfully, um, I love the music is really good. The gameplay is good. Characters are good. I want to make a video on it at some point, which means I will have to go back and probably play it some more. But whatever. I'm sure I can handle it. And it has been one of some of the. It was really short. My main issue is that it feels really short, but it also feels like that kind of works, and it doesn't really overstay its welcome. I feel. Um, some of the most fun that I think I've had playing a game with you so far. Not the most
Okay.
fun. There is another game here that I would say is the most pure fun that I've had playing a game with you. But it's Catherine's definitely up there when it wasn't making me extremely frustrated. Your turn.
uh, see. Um, hmm. Let's just rip the bandit off. Let's do flip side.
Flip side. Oh yeah, obviously.
Yes.
I was
Can't
a
even,
I was
can't even defend this anymore.
no, I can't. I can't. Look, when you I am a positive person. I'm a very positive person. It takes a lot. and I mean a lot, for me to say that I dislike a piece of media. I have watched throughout my entire life, there have only been two movies that I have watched that I would say are bad, completely bad, that have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. It's the same thing with games. I am very hesitant to ever say that a game is downright bad. Flipside is bad. I tried to defend it. I tried to see the good in it. I really, really did. And I do think that there are good parts of it. The Nicole suicide route is really, really good. It is one of the best routes in the series, but the rest of the game is so outrageously bad.
You're starting to cut out again.
Hold on. And I think the main difference is that when when you have to look at a game like four times and just you start to you can't help but finally see the faults in it. And it was, I had had so much of it by the time I finally was done with it, and now it's like, now I kind of hope there is never another Class of '09 game. I I do still like this series. I really do. But I just know that, like, it's never gonna be good again, most likely. It's never gonna be as good as Re-Up was, ever again. Because the creator is the way that he is, and he's never gonna make it good again. I doubt it. So yes, it's a bad game, and it is probably the only. I'm pretty sure it's the only game in here that's gonna get F. Your turn. I wonder what
I mean,
what you're gonna do.
F for flip side, of course. So I've raised and ranted in your retrospective video in a tier list. When I got to my parts, I literally like shouted, and that wasn't even me like trying to shout. That was just me like subconsciously being angry because I'm just angry this game even exists. Like, why is it like the only reason this game exists is because the creator SBN3 Max decided he got too popular and wanted to alienate his fan base. But Clash of 9 just blew up so much that it didn't turn out the way you'd hope. So sucks to suck. The every every route in this game sucks. I'm like Nicole Suicide does have some great redeeming qualities. I really like that it connects back to the first game, but the whole Mr. Cat thing completely just ruins the entire route for me. It would have been so much better if you like that just like was anything else. And then the other four is just dog water. Like the feet sides. There's a reason this game is called feet side, which for good reason too. The the slavery route is horrific. I mean, that's surprising. I thought you liked the up until the ending. Do you still hold that opinion, or
Like
do you
like
think
the
that
what
that
ending?
the slave route?
I think it's got really good qualities up until the end and a bad ending, but it doesn't it the everything else doesn't, it makes it, it's not good enough to pull it out of F.
Yes. And then yeah. Um, and then Ari dying for some reason. Only Ari gets punished for that, and then it just ends. Which this yeah. I'm not nearly as positive about Kim Just Red. I'm a lot more critical. I'm not someone who can just turn my brain off and just like and just be a consumer, as someone would say. Uh, I tried to in the past, but anytime I do, I just can't help but even the first time see the faults in these types of games. And the first time I went to Flip Side, it was awful, and every subsequent time it was even more awful. So again, I just really hope there's never another game in this series because again, it's just gonna be terrible, if not even worse than Flip Side, which is gonna be something that I wouldn't even be surprised if the creator pulls off. So yeah, the only reason I want to do flip sides because we want to get this over with. I don't want to see this game again, like ever again.
All right. Let's go for our first playthrough, DRA.
DRA. Well, it was the playthrough that started all of our playthroughs, which I have to give a lot of recognition for. I think that was no, well, no, that wasn't a game that made us both recognize. Well, we both did have a lot of fun with it. We both had a lot of fun voicing the characters, solving the cases. Akane was amazing. Kanata was amazing. Uh, but of course, with every good character, there's always some shit ones, aka
Okay.
Kinso. Uh, uh, the endings, I really like the ending to this game. I really like that there's a clear reference to the canonicity of like the actual DL series and how Junko explicitly mentions Nagito in the ending, which I found was really cool. I'm really excited to get into DLA 2 eventually, which I don't know how long that's gonna be. Um,
That's one
but
I think we're gonna have to save for when we're together.
okay. The let's see. Uh, it was very long. Um, and the translations was incredibly funny at many points. The free time events being in Korean did hamper our enjoyment, but overall the killer's personalities was very distinguishable.
It also
And
established our longest running joke on the channel.
yes, I was about to get to that. From the very first episode, we started to make the cum joke, which has gone on to this day, and continues to go on. Uh, the Honestly, if this game, if someone told me before I knew anything about DR that this was an official title and also a fan made game, and it was like fully translated in English, I would honestly believe them because this game is honestly pretty good. Of course, it doesn't stand up at all to even the worst DR game for me, Trigger Happy Havoc. I think that one's easily the weakest of the three, by a long shot. But even so, the story was compelling. I was really intrigued. The last trial was amazing. The kills are all great. The executions were great. Monokuma was just as mischievous as he always is. Um, and the kills interactions and the our interactions, me and you, right? During this playthrough was amazing. It wasn't a game that made us both recognize just how much fun playing with each other was. That was Spookies, but I mean, it was a game that started all of it. So, like, hmm. If it wasn't the first, it would be in hmm. If it wasn't the first, it would probably be in like a high C, low B. But because it's the very first one, I'm gonna throw this into a low A.
This is funny because I feel like this is gonna be one where I am far more critical than you, because I do think that this game has a lot of potential. I think the story of it is really good. The presentation is horrible. I I the translation is very funny sometimes, but it also is incredibly frustrating. There is way too much dialogue. It got so outrageously tiring to voice for hours at a time because there's also a really piss poor save system. So you could literally lose if if you had to turn off the game, or if something happened, you could be stuck having to go through an hour of dialogue again, which was just pain. And I literally had to do that at one point because we had to stop recording because either something went wrong or we got busy or something, and I had to play through more on my own again because of that. And I had to just like get through the entire thing and then leave the game open for when we were ready to play. It was it was such a nightmare. And I the characters were really well done. I do like most of the characters. Kinjo was the one of the worst characters I have ever seen in my entire life. I hate him with a burning passion. And it's not even like a Nagito situation where, um, like you're supposed to like really really hate them and like it's like well written. He wasn't well written at all. He was just annoying. I couldn't see his point. He was very the way that he showed his personality was terrible, and I just hated it so much. I think it has a lot of potential. It really does, and I'm happy it was the first one. I did enjoy playing it with you, but getting near the end of the game, I just wanted it to be over. By like chapter like 5, I was done, and I wanted it to be finished. And that I still remember them being in Ray's room, and it was I'm not even joking when I'm pretty sure it was an hour straight of just dialogue that of unnecessary, badly written dialogue that was horribly translated. Ugh.
I feel like we have the polar opposite with like reactions when it comes to this game. Whereas with me, it's like kind of line. Like you love the game, I'm a lot more critical of it.
Well, it's because at least with 100 Line, the presentation is still really good. You know, it's professional. This is not. DRA is not. It is bland. Which like I get it, it's a fan game, obviously, and it is good for what it is, but it is bland when you have to do an hour of dialogue. I'm put it in C. It is your
uh,
turn.
um, hmm. Uh, unpacking.
Oh, unpacking. This game is beautiful. I love it immensely. It is so unbelievably relaxing. I love it. I mean, it was the very first game that I made a full retrospective on, which should tell you about how much I liked the game. That I liked it so much that I wanted to make an hour long video just talking about it. The gameplay is extremely rewarding, extremely comforting, extremely fun, extremely replayable as well. Um, I've played this game to completion probably like 3 or 4 times now. Um, Music is incredibly good. I love the background story that it has going on. Um, that you can very easily miss if you're not paying attention, which was me the first time that I played it. But now every subsequent time I can appreciate it more, and sometimes the more you play it, the more you'll notice little details. Um, I love all the little references, all the little video games that you can find, the movies, stuff like that, and the way it reflects the year that it's supposed to take place. It's really well made for a game, and I feel like more people should know about it. Oh, and the
What?
our commentary when I played it was really fun because we just got
Well,
to. I think we just like talked about each other and got to know each other, right?
yes, I believe so because that was at a point where we started. I mean, we've known each other for a long time by then, but we just like kind of like chilled and talked like the entire time.
That was
Not
before
really
we
about the
started.
gameplay.
That was before we started
But
dating.
yeah. Um. But yeah, I mean, you're the huge unpacking fan. For me, I mean, I like. I mean, I can fully see the appeal. The background story is incredible. The music was great. The gameplay, I can see the appeal. To me, that kind of gameplay just it feels kind of boring and repetitive. But I mean, I mean,
How dare you?
I mean, to each their own. Um, but yeah, I honestly, I still had an enjoyable time, even if like there wasn't too much going on in the game itself. If you like not paying much attention to it, because I'm not sure like how many people is gonna catch on the story the first time and just like go through the motions of unpacking per the game's title and move on. But just chilling with you as you play this and just learning more about each other. Um, Again, it was before we started dating, which is of course a fond memory. Um, yeah, it was honestly like, really comforting. It was definitely a game where, no, I mean, as I said earlier, I am very critical of games, but this is definitely a game where I can just like relax, sit back, talk to someone, and just like this is definitely a game where I can just like peacefully fall asleep to. And honestly, I that's rewarding in of itself. This game goes in a B.
Okay. Honey Pop.
First one,
Honey Pop, sorry. Yes. The first
okay,
one.
Honey Pop. Uh, Honey Pop. Well, uh, this game is of course has a history behind it, as as I'm sure everyone who's watching is aware. Uh, I mean the Kyotos. There's not a They all have the appeal, unlike the second game. Um, uh, the the puzzle aspect is really charming. It's very simple, but it's very rewarding and charming. Um, Q being an option was amazing. Again, because I mean, my favorite character in this game's Q, which is really a big shame that she's gone the second one. I mean, not gone, but she's not an option the second one. The uh the dialogue choices you have to make in interactions with each of these characters, know them better is also great. Um, the uh the cat girl, forgot her name for some reason, is
Momo.
Momo. Yes, is adorable. Again, this is a game where again, of course, it's Honey Pop. I mean, it's what can you say about it? Just do puzzles, get close to girls,
It's porn.
segs. It's literally porn the game,
It
but
is it is it is quite literally the porn game. It is the porn
yeah.
game that everybody knows about.
And this is also another game where we played really early on, like really early on. I think this was our second or third place, second or third place.
We played this at the same time as Spookies.
Okay, okay, so yeah, pretty early, pretty early. And yeah, honestly, at first I was on the fence about this. Again, like like how like when I hear a porn game, I knew Honey Pop beforehand, because I mean who doesn't? But the whole puzzle aspect and just porn the game, but like I was thinking to myself, just how good can it be? But oh man, just like learning more about these characters and just like making fun of uh you when you screwed up was honestly really entertaining. As I always do. And yeah,
Boyfriend of the year.
compared to the sorry, what'd you say?
I said boyfriend of the year.
Boyfriend of the year. Uh, and yeah, compared to the second game, this one is just a diamond in the rough. So this goes. See, did I enjoy it more than Catherine? I think I did. I'm gonna play more. This is gonna be my first S tier.
My biggest thing about I love Honey Pop, whatever. I've probably played it like half a dozen times. And I've fully beaten Alpha Mode twice. I've played this game like once every year for a while. I just find it really enjoyable to come back and play every like once a year. It's just fun. It's a very simple, fun game. I like the characters a lot. Same. I think the puzzle aspects are really well fleshed out, really well done. Um, it's a very easy game until you get to alpha mode. And but even by the time you reach alpha mode, most of the time you're gonna have everything figured. You're gonna figure out the right combination of everything, which I do like. I like that there's simplicity to it. But then when you get to alpha mode and you can start to strategize and know and use specific, it's not gonna be about just getting raw points anymore. It's gonna be more focused on getting percentages, because the percentages are what would actually help you win the game. Um, I like it. I like it a lot. And I appreciate it more after fully beating the second game now too. My biggest thing though about the playthrough of both games is I kind of dislike. This was before I think we really got better at commentary. So the sections of me doing the puzzles was basically silent, and I kind of hate that. But that's more on me than the game itself. So I'm gonna put it in an A. Honestly, no. I'm gonna put it low S, because mostly for the memories that I have attached to it. Okay, your turn.
Uh, hmm. Let's do this game we're never gonna finish. Princess of Avenger.
Princess of Angel. So this is kind of a
We're
tough
never.
one. We are going to finish it.
No, we aren't.
Yes, we are. I swear to God, I've never seen the ending of even one round. I am not gonna ever let us give this up, and we are going to finish it one day. I swear to God.
One day we're dead, like long dead.
If we were to finish, the only reason, genuinely, the only reason that we haven't played it more is because I've been wanting to play 100 line more. Once 100, if we completely finish 100 line, a 100 line. If we completely finish 100 line, I'd want to like basically fully focus. I would want to switch it to Princess of Angel to be our main focus game. And it's like I would love to be able to play it more after work, but like I'm always just so tired after work that voicing like like 11 characters feels like a lot. But I want to try it more if I can just, get out of a slump of always coming home tired. But from what we have seen so far, what I do know about the game and what I have seen, it is a very, very well done game. It's extremely underground, which was really surprising for me to learn, because it feels like the kind of game that should have a lot more attention than it does. It definitely deserves more attention than it gets. I think the characters are very well made. Some parts of the game I think have aged, or I think are not very good. I think the art is it definitely doesn't hold up to some like modern not like visual novels. Um but it's pretty good. I think it's still really good. It's a bit limited in its scope, but the simplicity honestly kind of works. I love all the choices that you get. I still think it was really stupid that Ruriko is not an option in the first game. That feels like such a huge oversight, but whatever. I think the four goals that they do give you is great, and then the with happiness, I'm happy that they extend to a bunch of other girls, and I'm very excited to see all that the rest of the game has to offer.
So this is easily a game where I can see landing SS because the story that we've seen so far is honestly really appealing and really well made, and honestly the interactions with that Messiah has with every single character in my opinion very well done. Some are of course a lot better than others, but I really like that every character has their own very distinguished personality, and you can very easily fall in love with every single one of them. Even Marika after after she gets over her one really bad
She,
terrible scene.
God, I fucking hated Marika for the longest time because of that stupid entire sexual assault stuff. It bothered me so much. But even I have to admit that at this point, she's actually like kind of enjoyable as a character now, which is it's insane to me that there's a visual novel that could do something like that can make me change my opinion on a character that much.
Uh, in addition, this game has I'm almost positive, I'm 99% sure that it has my very first, waifu quote unquote character of all the that I've ever that my first character I consider consider calling a waifu in my life, in that being Ritsuko, because the story goes that I saw a page on her online, didn't know where she was from, and then we came across this game, saw her CG, and I was like, oh, that's where she's from. And then yeah, we're basically playing. We're not playing now. It's basically on Suicide Watch. But
Shut up!
the uh the
We're gonna play
but
it!
uh but uh yeah. Again, the four kills we get. I mean, not even the four kills. Every killer that's in this game has their charm to it. Once again, Messiah as a protagonist he's fine. He's not the most interesting like protagonist ever, but he has more that we haven't seen from him, as per clearly Shiho and Risei's backstory, which we haven't learned yet, which I'm very invested in learning more about him. I really like how he overcomes the struggles, how he like risks his life to basically save a few of them. Um, and I just think the story that we've seen so far is compelling, even if, again, the first few chapters, well, I mean, again, there are a few weak points in the game that we've seen so far. Most notably, the Marika scene and a few scenes with Mitsuki. But overall, this is a game that can easily land an SS by the time we're done.
I'm
Um,
sure it will.
even like the fact that we haven't touched it in, like, again, I think like half a year now again does sour the current ranking a little bit, but once we get back to it, I'm sure it's gonna pick back up. This feels extremely disrespectful, but for now I'm gonna put it right beside Hunter Line and C.
Above or below?
Above, because I definitely have more fun playing the Princess Phantom.
Again, the main thing holding me from us from doing Princess of Angel more often is just because it's so many characters for me to voice that it feels draining, even doing just one episode at times. Um, but
Well, now you know how I feel
I
voicing them.
do no, because um you've still even when we're doing something like 100 line, you still voice less characters than I do in Princess of Angel.
I mean, Takumi talks a lot. Like, he talks way like
I mean, I
so
guess
much.
yeah, but I don't know.
Ugh.
Doesn't feel comparable in the same way. I do want to get back to it though. I do. I will be damned if we never freaking finish this game. I swear. Okay, time for a fun one. Nier Automata.
Neo Automata is honestly such a amazing game. The whole passing joke that did turn out to be a joke. Well, first of all, I really like that we saw ourselves. We decided to enact ourselves as 2B9S. I think that made the entire experience like so much more enjoyable. I really like the running joke that about
Jess.
about yeah 9S wanted chips all the time, just being extremely hungry. I think that was extremely hilarious. I think the A2 storyline is incredible. I really liked all. No, I really like all three storylines. I think the music is some of the best I've ever heard in gaming. Um, the uh, the gameplay. I mean, obviously I didn't play myself, so I don't know. But I can see the gameplay being extremely fun. I see the appeal like easily, like right away. Um, the bullet hell aspect I think is very unique. Let's see. Hmm. The Yeah, it's just the entire storyline that revolves around all three androids we follow, and the fact that we get a bond so much with Kyoji, even though like we know that they're just androids is says a lot, and I always love games like that.
The fact that
Um,
they killed 2B and she just doesn't come back is insane.
yeah, it was honestly like a really ballsy move, but I got honestly, I like it, I really do. Um, uh, I will say that of every storyline, well, no, I definitely think the no, I definitely think they're all about equal. I can't say I like one more than the other because they all have their certain charm to it. Um, I really like that at the beginning where we find AQ as we just think of her as like, oh, she's another villain, but when we actually get to her route, we actually see like there's so much more to her character and actually like bond with her too, just like 2B and 9S somewhere in their routes before, and I really like the desperation when eventually it's just like like the androids fending for themselves. I think that's very creative and very and the delivery and presentation comes across incredible. As someone who loves Xenoblade, this game reminds me heavily of that. Um, and the world building and the world itself is extremely beautiful. This is definitely a game where again, it's not the most fun I had playing a game with you, but it's definitely enough to warrant an easy S. I would be so happy if we got to play this again, which I know we will back when we eventually do the retrospective.
Above or below?
Above easy.
I have a lot of history with Nier Automata. I played the game like back in the first year that it was out. Um, I played through the entire first route, ending up to ending A. But I never played anything beyond that. I was completely blind to everything beyond that. So playing through that part of the game with Arc was very nostalgic for me, and it was just as good as I remembered. The Switch version is a little questionable, but it was super nostalgic. I regret that we didn't do the side quests. Um, that's my biggest regret from our playthrough. Um, but we'll get to see them eventually. And then playing it completely blind and seeing the insanity that the game offers. Again, freaking killing 2B, um, like a gaming icon, and it's like she gets killed basically like halfway through the game and doesn't come back, and then it's insane. I loved every aspect of the game. I didn't like the towers. The towers was honestly my least favorite part of the game, especially since I had to do one of them like 3 times. Um, but I liked. I think it was fun, very challenging, but not too much. So you can very easily kind of like break the game with a very powerful set of skills if you get the right stuff. Um, the music was just as good as I remember. Probably one of my favorite video game soundtracks, just like Ark said. Um, it was very fun to play through it again and experience it again with Ark and see both old and new content. Yeah, uh, I am very excited for Nier Replicant when we get to it after Yakuza. Um, we're gonna probably honestly put it in SS. Give me one.
Uh, hmm. Edith Finch, please.
Edith Finch. Edith Finch is a game that is one of my favorite like short story based games ever. The presentation is incredible. The surrounding the setting is amazing. Just like this massive sprawling house filled with stuff with a bunch of environmental storytelling. Extremely good. Extremely fun to explore. I love all the little segments. Um, I love learning about this family and the curse and trying to interpret how everybody died, because some of them are extremely clear, some of them are like extremely vague. Um, I heavily enjoyed being able to actually play this game myself and seeing Ark's reactions to everything. It was fun, and I can't wait to probably do a video on it at some point. I'll put it here.
So Edith Finch was a game where that before we started recording, Red wanted to take out. I said I just told her no because I really like this game, and honestly, I didn't. This is another game where I honestly didn't expect Red Force. I didn't know what I was gonna get into, but learning more about this game, seeing these killer stories, the whole family stories, recognizing and interpreting how each of them died. The presentation and setting was gorgeous. It's easy one of like the previous games. In terms of setting on this entire list, in my opinion. The the ending
It's
was
because
phenomenal.
I have excellent taste in games.
Yes. The the presentation was amazing. The setting was amazing. The story, the ending was amazing. The story that we followed was amazing. The notes and interpretation of each of the family members' death and the drawings of the family tree as we learn more about the history is extremely well done and creative. Uh, it's such a massive, beautiful, and just gorgeous game. Which, if you haven't heard of it, then please at least watch a playthrough of it because honestly,
I like
I
watching. If you want to watch a playthrough of it, watch Jacksepticeye's playthrough. His was the one that I watched over and over again before playing the game myself.
yeah but um it's an incredible game, and by the time we finished it, my immediate first thought was like, oh man, I really wish we could just I just experience this game again, and hopefully one day we can just play it again. But this is a game where I really would be so happy to like
To play it again with the
re
context and like see what you pick up on.
and just see like any foreshadowing, any clues, because some
I
of them
think
are
the main thing to me is noticing Edith's pregnancy
right.
is like the main thing that you'll notice the second time around.
And also the music is beautiful too. This might be a hmm. No, there's only one game that goes in SS. I'm gonna put this in S though.
I wonder what that game is. Where is it going?
Uh, between Neo and Honey Pop.
Okay, let's do a fun one. I want you to tell me your. Sorry about that. My drink's here. Um, the first Class of 09 game.
Um, this is the first Class of 9 game is a game where I just frankly don't know how to feel about it. Like, because on one hand, because with Re-Up, it's very clearly amazing. With Flipside, it's very clearly terrible. The first Class 9 game is somewhere in between, but I just don't know like where exactly it is because there are some really, really great moments and there's some really, really terrible ones. There okay. When you introduced me to this game, I remember you giving me like like a warning beforehand, and initially I wasn't sure what it meant, but after experiencing this entire series now, well, not even the entire series, but even the first game, I fully understand why. Because, oh man, I even after playing, even after finishing the first game, I still wasn't sure what I played, and it wasn't until uh like it took some time to settle in, and only after the second game and especially after the third where it really started like settle in, and I really started to um fully understand the the narrative, if you will, of the game itself. Because the thing is, of course, the first game it revolves entirely around Nicole and Jacka and Jeffrey. The entire game can basically just be them, and it with it basically is just them with like a few minor side kills because the kills in the second game, Ari gets a whole one scene, which is her rushing in to save Nicole from the coach. Emily gets like like one or two passing lines here and there. Kelly gets like nothing at all. Uh, which for the record, I'm really happy that they got expanded of home, but that's for the second game. But again, there are some great routes in this, and there are some awful ones. There are um, the school shooter route is again infamous for being, of course, what it is. Um, I think why am I blanking on some, like almost all of the routes? Hang on.
The school shooter, graduation, um, the white power endings,
Oh God.
the Kyler endings. What else?
Oh,
Choked out. Uh, the suicide. Drug rehab. That's to name a
yeah,
few.
yeah, I basically heard enough. Yeah, but hearing all that doesn't really change my stance. Again, the white power endings are some of the worst in the series. Not talking about the flip side endings. Uh, the Um, but again, for all the bad ones, there is a good one to make up for it. This one, as I said before, Re-Up is very clearly the best in the series. Flipside is easily the worst. This one is again somewhere in between. So for that purpose, I'm gonna put it in um um uh, but between Princess of Azure Heartland for me, please.
You summed up basically all of my thoughts. It's definitely the middle ground. It is mostly I do like the singular focus more um on Jeffrey, Nicole, and Jekka because like they're the three core of the game. I like the presentation a little bit more. The main thing is not only is it is very much the center of the road in a lot of ways. Like to me, it's re-up is feels way more focused on what it was trying to do, specifically target more of the side characters, leave the have there be less routes but longer and more focused. But then you have Class of '09. It's like if you just compare the two like maps of all the endings, the re-up is very easy to understand, very like centralized. The Class of '09 one is expansive because there's so many choices and so many endings. Which does give the game variety, admittedly, but it also makes it feel way more disorganized. Um, but as I said, the school shooter ending is still one of my favorites because I like that the entire game is basically builds up to that ending. It's really great. I think it's a great introduction to the series, great introduction to the characters for the most part. But you're right, it is very middle of the road, not as good as Re-Up. So I'm gonna give it a B.
um, let's finish Clash for 9. Let's do Re-Up.
Re-Up, basically what I was already saying. It gives us more attention on Emily, Megan, and Ari, which are great. They're all amazing characters in their own right. Obviously Ari is our favorite, so that was great. It's way more focused, way more organized, without getting too hyper specific like Flipside does. Flipside doesn't have enough choices. Re-Up is like that perfect middle ground. The writing is fantastic. The jokes are really funny. It is a genuine. I think it is an actually good game. Um, and it's definitely the peak of the series. Everything that Class of '09 did, it does better. So I'm gonna put it right here, low A.
So yeah, again, you basically summed up all my thoughts. This is where the series peaked, and unfortunately, it makes me really angry considering what Flipside could have been. But um, it gave. I mean, we talked about the series ad nauseum already in the retrospective video, so please go check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, it gave all attention to side killers. It gave more amazing routes, that some of which are phenomenal. It gave some much needed attention to um again killers that otherwise would have been easy forgotten, like Megan, Ari, Emily. Some of that was a double edged sword, but um even so, I'll never deny that they desperately needed more attention. And the only downside I can say about this is that like Kelly doesn't have a route dedicated to her. The most we get of her is the flip side slavery route, which uh, I prefer that didn't exist. So but no, I mean that's basically just nitpicking. There's really not much I can say that's negative about this game. It's gonna go high B for me.
Okay. Um, Scarlet and Violet.
Oh boy, Scarlet Violet. This is a really funny case because for a bit of backstory, I mean, I mentioned this in a playthrough, but I mean, I'm not sure how many people watched it. This is a game where I wouldn't have mind skipping this entire generation for that matter, because I unfortunately fell into the rabbit hole that was listening to online reviews, seeing how buggy the games were released, which they were. For to be fair, they were definitely extremely buggy and terribly optimized, which I'm glad they seem to perhaps fix it in the future. Um, but when we got around to playing it, given that it's a Pokemon game, I of course eagerly accepted, not knowing what to expect. But this game has easily become I won't say I won't say first place because that still is gonna be black and white for me. But um the it's definitely top three, which is definitely not a placement. That's definitely if I went back in time and told my future self this, I would have thought like I accidentally took drugs or got intoxicated or something and played with like poor judgment. But no, but the reality of the matter is that it's just that good. The storyline was amazing. The DLC with Karma and Kirin was amazing. The twist at the end with the professor was amazing. I really like the Oliven story was easily the best one. Penny story was also phenomenal. The music was great. The Mona story was fine. It's just the story you get in a traditional Pokemon game, more or less, which it is what it is. The Juliana has
She stole
gone
your
from
heart.
she's just absolutely stolen my heart. Juliana has gone from a character who I couldn't care less about to climbing to the top of the tier list, like first place of the entire Pokemon series, which is wild. But she's just adorable. The jokes that we made throughout this entire playthrough is still hilarious to me, and every time I look back, and I'm sure even if I look back at it tonight, I'm still gonna have a good laugh about it. The whole yoga joke was hilarious. The
That's still
the
that has still got to be one of my favorite moments that we have ever come up with.
So yeah, even putting aside my experiences, this game is in my opinion a great game. Like Sword and Shield got criticized for being pretty bad game, but I mean I enjoy Sword and Shield for that matter too. But um the base game was amazing. The Teal Mask was amazing. Kieran's development between the two DLCs was amazing. The second DLC, it had some insanely difficult fights and challenges and double battles, which is something you would only see in competitive tournaments. Which as a competitive player, I really really like. Kieran's development, Terapagos' fight was great. This game, no, you know what? I before I said there was only going to be one SS tier. Throw us right up there. SS. I'm not.
Beautiful. Okay, Scarlet and Violet. So our playthrough of Violet was essentially, um, to me, it was a redemption of sorts. I played Violet when it first came out. My first generation was Generation 8. Violet was the first time I was playing a brand new generation, and it was kind of disappointing. I did enjoy playing the game when it first came out. I never finished the DLC. I never finished the Indigo Disc, so I wanted to go back and play it again with the better enhanced graphics and everything. And this being the first time me and you played Pokemon together was incredibly fun, incredibly enjoyable. Jokes that we came up with was great. The riffing was great. The team that we came up with, God, I love Tinkaton and Tandemaus now. I love them so much now. Some of my favorites after that playthrough. They're so good and so fun. Um, and it solidified us playing Pokemon together. So, ooh, so loud sneezes. Um, and we finally finished the DLC, so it was nice to finally finish that. Um, I had such an incredible time playing it, and it makes me so excited to, um, for the next generation, which is probably going to get announced this month, which is kind of insane to think that it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, well, Pokemon Day is in February, and this year is the 30th anniversary, so most likely they're going to announce Generation 10 this month.
Okay, can't wait.
I'm still annoyed that they broke the pattern. It still bothers me so much. They broke the pattern.
Oh.
But yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's just like OCD or whatever. Uh, I'm very glad that we did eventually, because we talked about playing Violet for months before we actually finally did it, and I'm so glad that we did. It was like our very first like casual playthrough, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. The game is still not perfect, but it is still, in my opinion, the best story that we've ever gotten in a Pokemon game.
I
Although I
guess Sun
guess
and Moon is missing here.
it is, but I didn't know if we wanted to include it or not. Um, I guess to be fair though, I haven't finished Black and White 2. Although to be honest, I don't think it's gonna be better in my opinion. Characters in this game are also really great. That's the big thing about modern Pokemon games is I feel like the characters are way better. I mean, just look at ZA. ZA has, in my opinion, the best overall cast in the entire series. So many knockout characters. So I feel like the modern Pokemon games are their character design and personalities are getting better and better with each installment. Um, I'm very happy, and yeah. So let's see. Hmm. I'll put it right here. Yeah. Oh wait, I guess
Uh,
it's your turn to pick one for me, huh?
yes. It's uh, hmm. They look like us. This is gonna be a quick one, but let's get us out.
Very good horror game. Um, very short and sweet. Um, it was the first horror game that we played after you awakened from Spookies. So I'm very excited to do more horror if the games can actually work. We freaking played Iron Lung today and it didn't work. So, whatever.
Uh, they looked like us. I mean, what do we say about this? This game lasted for like a whole like 5 minutes, but you know, even for those 5 minutes, the suspense and tension that the game threw you in, because honestly worked. The fact that you turn off all the lights, and then the TV screen flashes red, and then supposedly something does rush out of the darkness at you. I saw another playthrough and saw what it was, and that was honestly like actually terrifying. The newspaper article, I mean, again, it was pretty well made. Again, it's a really simple and short game, but for what it is, and given that it's my first horror game after Spookies, I honestly really like it. This was definitely for how short it was definitely still an enjoyable experience. This is gonna go in uh n- no, and it's too short. I'm gonna put it like below 100 line in C, but it's not gonna put it low, be like D at least.
All right, sweetie.
Yes.
How about you go ahead and talk about your other SS?
Oh, gee. So yeah, Honeypop 2. Okay. Uh, the, so yeah, but as I mentioned before, this game, Spooky Jumpscare Mansion, is extremely, extremely important to both of us. And I don't think there's gonna ever be another game that's gonna stand up to this one, because no matter how much fun we have playing other games, and even if we have a more enjoyable time, this one is always gonna be the very first one, with the very top of the top for me, because the fact for multiple reasons. First of all, this is the game that introduced me to horror. Not horror, but got me to like horror, because previously I used to check out anything horror related, because I have a very bad fear of blood, and I was always under the impression that horror games, typically they do, horror games always have so much blood splatter and so much like tension that I didn't think I would enjoy. But Spookies turns that upside down with like a very appealing, simple but appealing gameplay mechanic. Spooky itself is adorable. The specimens are incredible. With the backstory that goes on here is incredible. The DLCs that uncovers that makes you learn more about Spookies and her family's backstory is great. Um, the settings and build up and notes and endless more killers and not killers, specimens and monsters, and just the creative ways that the developers uh, made each specimen, how to deal with them, and the room layouts, and just I can't say enough praise about this. I don't think, if you told me to say anything negative about this, the only thing I would say is it's not long enough, and there needs to be more content. That's literally all there is to it. And it's very special to us because it's the game that we started dating during, and we're still dating to this day. So SS, the very top. It's not even think about this.
Basically everything you said, to be honest. Um, this is the game that basically inspired me to want to do retrospectives because I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to delve into the lore, and I wanted to just announce my love for this game. It is incredibly fun. Um, it does get kind of boring after you play for like 30 hours. Um, but endless mode isn't by itself. It's just trying to get all the achievements is really fun. And it's an incredibly enjoyable experience. I wish I could experience it all over again, so bad, because it would be so. I just know I'd have so much fun the second time around too. It's it's such an incredible game, and it really deserves more attention. It does have a lot of attention, but it deserves even more than it gets. I I love it immensely. It is one of the games that I wish I could play blind all over again. What are you picking for me, sweetie?
Um. Uh. Return to Ravenhurst.
Ugh. Return to Ravenhurst. I have been a fan of the Mystery Case Files games ever since I was a kid. I still am. I'm still a major fan. I want to play through all of them. I own basically every single one. I just haven't played through them all yet. God, I really should do that. I really should do that at some point. Just on my time off. Um, I immensely love the series. I want to do videos on it so bad. I want to talk about the lore of it. I want to talk about how the series changes over time. I want to make stuff on it. And Return to Ravenhurst is probably my favorite. No, second favorite in the series. Dire Grove is my favorite. Um, Not a great game to play with Ark. I can tell he doesn't like this kind of game. No, I think you would like it if you were the one playing, but this kind of game is not the kind of game that's good for this kind of style that we have going on, especially with our level of commentary. Um, I like it, but it is a bad video, bad pair of videos. So, um, yeah, so it just basically killed any chance of us playing more in the future. So, I ranking this for us playing it together, it's a D. But if I were ranking it on how much I like it, it would be like an S.
So yeah, Return to Ravenhurst. Uh, so yeah, right, basically somewhat summarized my thoughts. This game, I mean, the most enjoyment I had. This is another game that's unpacking, which it was kind of casual, but it's not really casual because we um the repetitive. There's like there's so many things we have to find, have to do. We basically have to find the missing objects like 10 times, and no, maybe even more than that, which
No,
got
it's
old.
definitely more than that.
It got old really quickly. Um, I was unfortunately not very like, impressed with the story. Uh, I really like the I really like the joke we had going on. Again, as per these kinds of most of these games go, we always like to make running jokes, and this game is no different. I really like the running joke we had about
The missing You're missing glasses.
my missing glasses first of all, and apparently all kids children, which is another one. But given that anytime the kids show up, just like I was like, no, go away, let's be over, go away, no, screw you up. Which again, honestly, it was pretty funny. But yes, in terms of the gameplay itself, it was like no, it was basically nothing but it was just us trying to locate uh hidden objects, which yeah, I can make a game out of that, and yeah, I can see how it can be fun, and yeah, if I was playing it myself, I can maybe see myself enjoy it a lot more. But in terms of our playthrough, outside of the jokes themselves, it just wasn't great. This also goes in deep for me.
See, the thing is, it's definitely better once you have context. It's better on its own. I think it's fine. It's a fun game on its own. The real joy to me of Mystery Case Files comes from the overarching story, because it's all one story. The entire series is a singular story about one character, and like you have returning characters who like show up in one game, and then like 10 games down the line they pop up again out of nowhere, and you're like, oh cool, it's nice to see you again. And now I get to see you in 2D and everything. It's like, Like the games are fine on their own, but it's the overarching story that's great. And then Ravenhurst itself is the big game. It has like 5 games and it's in the main series, and then it has a bunch of branching off games that deal with the main villain, who like the main villain is the main villain of the entire series. It's really cool. And that's like the big reason why I like it. And that's why I think you would like it, because I know you're a fan of like crossover stuff, and that's definitely what Mystery Case Files is. It's a big crossover kind of thing a lot of the time. Um, but I can definitely see that on its own without that context, when you're not the one playing, it's not very good. But I think if you had the same kind of experience that I did, you would probably really like it. Which is why I think when I do make videos on it, um, I would like for you to like look at them at least. Like at least look at the
No,
at least the finished product, and I think you would enjoy it.
I mean, I'm your editor anyways, and gonna take notes with you. So I'm gonna basically force like experience this with you, which it's fine
I guess.
because again, Spookies was a first time experience for me too, and I ended up loving that the most of like everything. So yeah, I can fully see myself when I actually have exposed to it and actually know the context. I can definitely see myself appreciating this a lot more.
All
And maybe we're
right.
gonna return to the rest of the series someday.
Hopefully, Dire Groves was always my favorite, because Dire Groves just. I think most people who like Mystery Case Files have Dire Groves their favorite, because it's just that good of a game. The Dire Grove setting, the setting is really good. The mystery is really good. It's probably the scariest game in the series so far that I've played. Um, the it's definitely carried a lot more by the setting. It's incredible, and I think you'll really like it. Unfortunately, you can't play it anymore because it used Flash, so you can't actually play it anymore unless you mess with your computer. But okay. Um, Ao Oni.
uh, this is another game where I'm not sure how to feel. On one hand, the gameplay is very simple. It's just another walk around, try to find the try to solve the puzzles while at the same time being terrorized by the aforementioned onlys. So, some of the spawn locations for the owl only is extremely troll because you can exit out of the room, and then once it suddenly appears where the exit is supposed to be, and suddenly you just cornered and get fucked. Can't fuck lose a like I'm not sure what's going on there. Like I don't know if that was an oversight, like just like
I
poorly
doubt it. I
developed.
doubt it was an oversight.
But I mean, even I mean, regardless, uh, um, the death screens I wish were. I mean, it has a few variety. It was. I mean, we didn't really get to spend a lot of time with our protagonist's friends, but the fact that they eventually turned it out only themselves was something to behold. Some of the puzzles were very interesting. I think is the best way to put it. Like the puzzles definitely made you need to think, which I can definitely respect. And for such a simple game, where we just like use the WASD keys and to move the four directional arrows, it definitely works. The It's definitely a short game. Um, I'm not sure how to feel about the ending. Um, and that's that's basically that. And then the game just ends. It's basically all there is to it. Just walk around, try to solve puzzles, and trying to get killed by the Elonies. So I mean, it's a simple game. The puzzles are the biggest appeal to it. It definitely wasn't the most fun game we've tried out, but I definitely still liked solving the puzzles with you, as per other puzzle games as well. So I'm gonna put this just uh hmm, I'm gonna put this between Hunter Line and they looked like us. Jeez.
Okay. Aoni, basically, you basically summed up everything that I would ever want to say about it. Is with how much hype I had for it, how much I was looking forward to it, because I knew it was like a big horror game back in the day, and I was really looking forward to seeing why people liked it so much. It was really disappointing, to be honest. Um, some of the puzzles were so convoluted that I think I had to look up answers. I don't remember. Either that or they just took me forever. And it was just by the end I was ready for it to be over because it stopped being fun after like 2 hours. Um I can see why people like it. I just think that there are better games out there, really. It's definitely shows its age and did not live up to my hype. Your turn.
Um, Amnesia the Darkness. Oh, this one I've a lot of things to say about this one. Well, not a lot, but just
Amnesia. The first, like, 75% of the game is really good. And that last 25% just gets tedious and hard and, like, difficult in a way that's not fun. Um, Having to fucking navigate that giant area and just try and figure out what you're supposed to do while like you have multiple things chasing you is really annoying. And it's like, and apparently the game was too dark for Ark to see, so that was cool. Um, it gave me some genuine jump scares though, and it was really cool. I was very fascinated by the story. Um, especially, I mean, it's told very cryptically, but in a way that made me want to learn more, want to learn what was going on. So, um, and I do want to play the other games in the series eventually. Maybe when we're together though, so that we can make sure that we can both see the game. Because I could see it just fine. When I was playing, I could see just fine, even in the dark. I didn't realize how dark it was for you and for the
did
viewers.
you just look back into a coin saying, "Oh wait, you're blind. What the hell?"
Yeah, basically. So I do, but I do want to play the rest of the games in the series. Although I know that people typically consider the first one to be the best. Um, I think it's a good game. It unlike Aoni, it lived up to the hype that I had been building up for it because it was also like one of the huge horror games back in the day, and I think it actually lives up to that. Um, I'm gonna put this here, top of B.
So, have you ever wondered to yourself one day what it was like to be blind? Just watch this playthrough as a viewer, and you'll understand what that means. Because, my God, when there wasn't any light and we were just wandering in the darkness, I like it was so dark I could just barely make out what was going on.
I am stunned that you just never said anything.
I did.
No,
I
you
didn't said it
didn't.
was. But the yeah, it did give us a few skills. No, not a few skills. Like a couple of skills here too. Which honestly are screams, but like your scream on one of the occasions was honestly really funny, and we still have it documented. That was it's still really beautiful. But the story is told cryptically. It's for me, it was rather difficult to understand. I'm not sure how easy it was to understand for you. The first I mean, outside of just being blind, the puzzles that we had to solve, unlike in Ao Oni, I mean, the puzzle we had to solve in this game were a lot more difficult. We definitely had to like look up the solutions for a few of them. But for the
I
first,
the
let's
I'm pretty sure the there was one section that like bugged out and I had to redo it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I think I do remember what you're referring to. I know we had to look up a solution for the siren segment because we just couldn't find what we were trying to look for. Um, but oh yeah, yeah. This is where the siren in Spookies came
I
from.
was
Which
just about. I literally was just about to say, "Oh yeah, this is the game that had Carrick in it, which fucking inspired the siren." And playing through, God, I do remember playing through that, and I was like, wait a minute, is this where it got it from? And that was really cool. That was really cool. Until I remembered that meant I would have to do the siren thing again. And it was worse than Spookies.
But yeah. Um, I can I can definitely see the appeal. Definitely, the puzzles are really well made. It really makes you think. The monster designs are both incredible. The fact that you wander around the dark definitely builds tension. The story it tells, I can see being very interesting, even if it's told cryptically, which I know a lot of people appreciate. But my god, so like the first 50 to 75%, as Red said, we both really enjoyed our time. But the last 25%, we just both want to end because the puzzle just really preyed on us. Until I get teased by that, especially me, who just could barely see a thing. So as far as a playthrough went, I mean, for the parts I could tell, it was fine, I guess. I mean, but yeah, uh, hmm. Yeah, I can respect what it's going for. It's a well-made game. I'm gonna put in a bottom of a B tier personally, despite my grievances.
Cooking companions.
Um, Cooking Companions. Now, another horror game. Um, this game is well, all four of the killers in Cooking Companions. Well, no, three of them. The mom's a bitch. So the mom,
Not a
we
mom.
all my homies hate all the mommies hate the mom.
Not a
Um,
mom.
uh, so sorry, she is. You're right.
Karen.
Karen, right? Which the name checks out. Uh, the horror is great. The story it tells is great. I really dislike that the killer we both end up liking the most. I again
Died
don't remember her
first.
name. Died first, yeah, with
Mariah. Maria.
Maria died first, which is, such a shame. But the horror elements was great. Like walking down the staircase and seeing like the four killers, well, three of them dead, like the in like the darkness, like um, and just seeing like their decayed corpse standing there is honestly super unnerving as it should be. Um, the satisfaction that uh we both got when we eventually faced off against Maria and stabbed her was
You mean Karen?
so Karen, fuck, was so cathartic.
How is
The
it that I could
DLC.
remember the names better than you? That never
I
happens.
no, I don't know. You freaking the DLC and actually learning about like the trumpets. I can't believe I actually remember what it was called. Uh,
No, that's it.
was yeah. I said I can't believe I remember what it was
Oh.
called. So yeah. Was honestly great. Like the kids are really adorable, and I really wish the DLC lasted longer. Um, I really like when I think about this game, the first thought that comes to my mind is, well, actually, there's two things. The first thing that comes to my mind is the fact that Whiteface is somehow back, which I know is, which I know is,
It
it's,
still, it still was the biggest surprise of just seeing Whiteface and just me screaming like, "What the hell are you doing here?"
yeah, because I know, we know Whiteface is very infamous. Like, I'm sure it's definitely one of the most infamous horror games of all time. But it's still like so surprising. And beyond that, Becca's back too, which is also another.
One of the most fucking random inclusions I've ever seen.
Uh, but apart from that, I really like another running joke we had. Neil is on the game. When the the fruits and vegetables were capitalized, I like shouted the name. Shout the one. There was like, I'm like asking, why did they shout the name? Like, you're just like, I really don't think they shout the name. Like, oh, like, oh boy, I love meat. It was so freaking stupid. So yeah, I think it was a really, it's a really funny moment, and yeah, the horror aspect of it, and the story unfolds, and the fact that Maria this time for real actually kills the killer this time was also really cathartic. It has some really great moments. This game goes in uh between Catherine and DLA, please, in A. It's not quite an S, but it's a great game.
I love Cooking Companions. I've always been a fan of Cooking Companions because it was, well, it was always like super like DDLC vibes. Only for me to learn that it was the same people that made DDLC Plus, so that makes a lot of sense. Um, Great game. I think I love the lore. I love exploring the main character being evil, probably the potentially the Baba Yaga, potentially or just like a witch in some way, just some weird creature that eats people and convincing these people to do the same only to reveal it's the cycle that repeats over and over and over again. It's it's fun. It's a really interesting game. The scares are really good. The art for the horror is immaculate. It makes you feel really unnerved a lot of the time. Um, Especially once the scares really get going. Um, I'm very excited to eventually do a video on it sometime after DDLC. Um, Excuse me. I'm gonna put it here.
Um, let's see. Honey Pop 2.
Honey Pop 2. So I have been a huge fan of Honey Pop for years, and I was unbelievably excited when the second game came out. And then I played it, and I never beat it. And then I played it again, and I still never beat it. And it wasn't until the third playthrough with Ark that I finally actually 100% completed the game. Well, not 100%, but I completed the game. And it is nowhere near as fun as the first one. Half of the characters are very hit or miss. Um, the two characters that they chose to come back were very hit or miss when they could have picked so many other characters that would have been so much better. I do really like Jessie's character arc in the second game. She is great in the second game. Lola's just kind of there. I would have preferred anybody else, really. I think. It sucks that Q isn't an option. Gameplay is harder, but in a way that I don't think is all that fun a lot of the time. Sometimes it's just frustrating and difficult, meaninglessly difficult. Um, I get what they were trying to do, trying to expand on the formula, but the thing is, the formula was already so good that what they tried to do just did not work for me. I don't think it's bad, but it's just nowhere near as good as the first one. So I'm gonna put it here. Maybe. No, top of C.
So yeah, I fully agree. It's not a bad game. you would think with how the formula is basically just the same as the first game with the puzzles and pulling the game, it would work out, but unfortunately it doesn't. Again, half the killers are very hit or miss. Q isn't an option. The added mechanics they added to this game can definitely be hit or miss as well. It can definitely be polarizing. Let's see. The final boss with the gauntlet. I'm I'm still not sure how to feel about that. I mean, I can see what they were going for, but at the same time, it just doesn't. It feels really silly. Um, which I guess is the point. But still, compared to the first game, Honeypop DLC, Honeypop 2 is just a very
DLC 2? Whoa!
whoa. Honeypop 2 is just it's I wouldn't call it a letdown, but it did wind up being a disappointment, unfortunately, because although Jesse's Kyoto arc was much better, Jesse was I really like Jesse in this game, and I really like the other girl, uh, the tan one. I guess that's about what the best way to put it.
I don't remember
Uh,
her name.
yeah.
See, the thing is,
But
I can remember all the names of all the characters from the first one. I can't remember most of the characters in this one.
yeah, think that just shows like that they're not very memorable. And yeah, they definitely some of these killers they definitely got like pushed up to. They definitely personality got pushed up to 11. It's like when they were overboard. But again, compared to Honey Pop 1, which is an S tier, again, Honey Pop 2, it's not a bad game, and I can definitely see why some people can prefer this over the first one because it does have some quality of life improvements. But even so, it could have been so much more. But still, I'm gonna put it um uh between Unpacking and Amnesia. Okay.
DDLC,
Oh no, no. Oh no.
DDLC.
Uh, DDLC. Well, this game is a masterpiece of a game. I don't think I need to explain it very much. This is a very infamous game. Sayonara is, of course, one of the most infamous tracks. I think even people who don't know DLC at all, have heard that track. Um, and heard the I slowly open the door leading up to it. Seeing Sayori go from being so happy in the first one and cracking as as chapter one went on before the what happened was heart wrenching as we both dealt with something a very bad case of depression in the past. Um, so yeah, there's that. The poems were most of them were great. Somewhat. I mean, most of them are great. I mean, sorry, all of them are great, but just some of them are much better than others. I think the kill dynamic and kill interactions between the killers were all great. The side stories were amazing and gave some much needed backstory to what happened before the protagonist joined, and how Monica fucked it all up, which is very infuriating. Uh, the the
The worst part is just seeing how amazing Monica was.
yeah you the deaths were all very well. I know Natsuki didn't actually die, but I mean she did get
Neck broken.
her neck broken, which it's very disturbing in the best way possible. Um uh let's see. We oh yeah. Oh yeah, how can I forget? This game like Spookies is something else that's very important to us because
It's how we
Spookies is
became this game is how we became friends.
yes. Whereas Spookies was a game where we started dating during, this game was the reason that we became friends over. Which
We bonded over shipping Sayori and Natsuki, which
yes,
is why
which
when we played the game ourselves, we joked about it a lot, and then we did their side story first. Was because we connected over finding them very cute together.
yes. And speaking and I think I mentioned the deaths already, but I'm gonna say it again. Sayori's hang is infamous. That's Natsuki's neck being snapped and her you know uh black eyes is horribly disturbing. Yuri like laughing maniacally and then stabbing herself, and then like you can see her like sort of decay on the classroom floor is of course terrible. And then Monica, trying to make things right and deleting everything. But who, despite all the wrongs she's committed, it was still kind of really sad. The songs in this game were very memorable. Um, it's just an amazing game, a masterpiece of a game. I promise this is gonna be I told you it was gonna be two SS2. I promise it's gonna be the last one. This is easy. Given how special this game is to us, this is also going up there. Uh, but this one is between Spookies and Scarlet and Violet. I mean, Scarlet and Violet just looks so out of place because I mean, Spookies and DLC we have both have like sentimental value to it, but like the SNV is just like, oh yeah, no, we had a lot of fun with it. That's basically it.
DDLC is probably after Spooky's my favorite horror game of all time. I have been utterly fascinated with this game since I first saw it way back when Game Theory covered it on GT Live. I have probably seen Act 2 onward a dozen times. Um, like I said, have a lot of emotional connection with it with Arc, but even outside of that, I it was one of the few horror games that I had played myself because I played DDLC Plus when it first came out on my own on my Switch, and I almost 100%ed it, and now I have 100%ed it, which is really cool. And not only that, our playthrough was fun because not only did we, play through the game and it was fun, and it was fun to voice all the characters and everything, but we also got to see the side stories, which is completely new content that neither of us had ever seen. It was completely blind, so there was still an aspect of the game that we got to experience for the first time together, just like with Nier. And it's just, it's a unique game. It's a game that no other game will ever be able to properly replicate the kind of horror that it is. It was the first of its kind, and although some games have kind of tried to replicate it, like Cooking Companions in a way, nothing will ever come close to the kind of horror that it is and that it has inspired. Um, it is the next after the Spookies video. It is the next big video I'm going to be working on, and I'm very, very excited to delve deep into the lore of it because it has a very complicated lore. But I'm very excited to tackle it, and it's an incredibly important game to me, and honestly, in ways that I don't think I could even properly describe just how important this game is to me. Um, so yeah, I think it deserves its place. It's honestly a very, very close second to Spookies. The only reason that Spookies is above it is because of the experience that I shared with Ark. That's the only reason that I should say I like Spookies more. On pure merit of gameplay, DDLC Plus, or just DDLC in general, beats it easily.
I guess like DLC and Spookies can go back and forth for me because like they're both the same. Like DLC is what causes us to become friends. So that won't have we definitely won't have started dating without that.
True.
So, but yeah, I guess we still met on like on other terms. So I guess we might have still talked. But who knows what could have happened.
Yeah, because at first it was DLC and then it was my novel. So it still might have happened, but this was definitely the catalyst to like really getting to know
You
each other.
can you're kind of really bad. It's kind of really bad. So
Hello.
hello again. It's better now again.
Okay. Um, is it your turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh. I guess Donut County.
Donut
I don't know.
County. A fun little game. I've always been a fan of stuff like Tasty Planet. Um, and this game definitely like kind of draws inspiration from those kinds of games where you're a thing that eats little things and you get bigger by eating those little things so you can eat bigger things. I've always been a fan of that kind of game. And this game is that, but actually has a story and is has some entertaining characters and some funny humor, and I really like it. It's very simple, very sweet, but I really enjoy it. Um, yeah, I'd say right here.
So yeah, Donut County is a very simple game, of course. It's just the usual eat things to get bigger, but this time with a story behind it, which I mean, I've never been too much of a fan of like the types of games where you just have to eat stuff and grow bigger. I think I was, but I mean, the fact that there was like actual story behind it and actual appealing characters definitely helped. The art is great. The storyline is pretty generic, but I mean, but it still has
I don't know how
still
you
has
can say
its
it's
appeal.
generic when it's about fighting raccoons who basically want to take over the world.
Okay, I might have forgot that part, but okay. Let me just say that it has a fine story. Well, I mean, wasn't the most interesting thing relative like some of the other games in this tier list, but it gets its job across pretty well. Um, yeah, it's a pretty fun, it's fun but simple game. I guess the best way to describe it. Uh, between Princess of Anto and Crash for 9, the first one.
I'm noticing a lot of C's here.
Yeah, I might move a bit down to move a little bit down. I actually no, I will. I'm gonna move uh Al only and they look like us into the to D. Al only is still ahead though, of course. No.
Legends Arceus.
Uh um so of the two Legends game, I am of the well, I mean, let me a huge disclaimer. I've never played this game, but I really, really want to. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm waiting for. Because I've been meaning to, but just haven't gone around to it. Because, um, experiencing this game with Red, as per Pokemon games go, it was of course enjoyable. Um, of the three Pokemon games, I mean, I guess four including Sun, well, not including Sun and Moon. Um, of the three in this tier list, this is definitely the one I would that I guess like the least, quote unquote, or had the least enjoyment. But even like the least, quote unquote, is still, and we still had a lot of fun. Um, the setting is amazing. The characters on unfortunately honest. I mean, there were some standouts like Yoda and Arizu, and of course Akari. Um, But compared to the Legends CA characters right beside him, like that's there are a lot. You can definitely see like there's a lot more misses than there are hits in my opinion. But again, I really wanted his game for myself, and maybe my opinion is gonna change of it when I'm sure. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sure that my opinion is gonna change of it when I play it myself. Again, I really don't know what I'm waiting for. I really but I definitely will because like Scarlet and Violet, like the ZA, I'm gonna enjoy my time. The setting is beautiful. The bosses is very well done. The Pokemon battles it's the most unique of a spin that the Pokemon company has ever taken it. And I'm all for it. Um, Volo is still one of the most infamously difficult fights in all of Pokemon. He's not the highest level anymore. That belongs to someone in CA, but you know, but he's debatably still harder. The uh, the storyline is it's definitely one of the better ones in my opinion. When we played, I felt like there was a lot to be desired, but that was gonna be expanded upon in like the post game, which uh, I guess we never really delved much into. I really wish this game got a DLC. Really think this game would have benefited from a DLC, but alas, it didn't turn out to be that way. But
That
regardless,
no,
it's a
it got a DLC. It was just um free DLC.
okay, but yeah, regardless, even despite this being the quote unquote least enjoyable time I've had playing Pokemon with you, my girlfriend, it's still gonna it's still gonna it's it's still gonna go between Edith Finch and Honeypop and S because the least is still not even it's still not good.
Legends Arceus. Um, I it was my favorite Pokemon game and one of my favorite games of all time. And honestly, I still to this day I cannot decide whether I like it more than Legend ZA or not. Even 4 months later, I still cannot decide which one I like more. I still think I like the research aspects of Arceus more, but I love the characters and the story and the setting of ZA more. Plus, it looks better. So I think I like ZA more, to be honest, but I'm not sure. Um, Either way, though, um, Legends Arceus is an incredible game. I'm so happy that they made that because the Legends games are way better. They're to me they're Pokemon at their absolute best, and I can't wait to see more. I can't wait for basically every game that's coming up in this like little mini series within the series, and I can't wait to see them with Arc. It's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be amazing. Um, I am just unbelievably excited to see what Pokemon has in store for us with them. As for this, um, I, I liked our playthrough. Um, it was less. I feel like this game though is more fun the first time you play it. Every subsequent time that you play it, it kind of gets a little less fun. But I do. It is a kind of game that I do enjoy 100%ing. And I do maybe want to make a video on it at some point. The ZA one, definitely. But for this, I'm not sure just yet. Hmm. Let's put it right here. Your turn.
Uh, hey sweetie,
Yes.
do you want to smash?
Smash Bros. Um, my favorite multiplayer game, without a doubt. It's my favorite multiplayer game. I love playing Smash Bros with everybody. Um, even one on one, it's fun. It's the only other experience that I had playing Smash Bros before this was playing. Hold on, my computer's out. The only other one I played before this was Brawl, but I only ever played Link, so I don't really count it as me playing it because I really didn't do anything, and I was way too young. Smash Bros. Though I've played since high school, and it was one of the reasons that I got a Switch to begin with. It was the very first game that I bought for the Switch, so I could play it with friends. Um, I have hundreds of hours in it. I love the World of Light story mode. I know not a lot of people like it, but I really, 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 really enjoy it. I love the roster. I love that my first Smash game was the big one. I have a lot of characters that I like. I like playing most of the characters in some way. I like every once in a while going back and just playing random, see which characters I get, see which characters I might enjoy playing, and then just trying out new characters. My mains switch like every couple of years. Right now, it's like Byleth and Pyra is my main. Um, it's it's I never get tired of it. So yeah, um, it's Smash Bros.
I mean, do I really need to say anything? It's Smash. What do you want me to say? It's just fun playing with multiplayer, even despite the occasional saltiness. I mean, the just hanging out, relaxing, playing with friends. It's regardless enjoyable. So, I mean, relative to these other games, though, where do I put it? No, I'm gonna put it at the very top of S. Definitely above you.
Plague Inc.
Plague Inc. Uh, Plague Inc. is another game where we kind of just played once and never went back to it. I don't think we even finished all the viruses. I'm almost certain we didn't because I
No,
remember
no,
us.
I'm pretty sure we finished all the base viruses, and then that was it.
Did we?
Yes, I'm pretty
Okay.
positive.
Well,
No, okay, we didn't play the vampire one, but I think we did all the other ones.
well, okay. Plague Inc. Um, it's. I remember when this game first came out, it just blew up, and for very good reason because this game is
You could say it
very
was a plague.
a plague, yes. Jeez, jeez, bonk. Uh, but yes, yeah, it's an extremely addicting game. If you haven't heard of this game, I don't know where you've been, but I mean, it doesn't really need much explanation. Alone, it can be extremely addicting. You can just play for an entire day and out, when at least hours on any working board. In terms of a playthrough, though, uh, I mean, it was enjoyable, but it really wasn't anything too special, I guess. So I'm gonna just put this in the top of D, personally.
Basically, I feel the same. I think it's a really fun game, but I think once you have gone through and done um, all of the plagues like once, um, you might get some enjoyment out of some of the like scenarios because some of them do unique stuff. But I think after that, the game grows really tiring really quickly. It's a game that you put down and then you come back and play it a couple years later. So I'm honestly gonna put it in the same place. It's definitely a fun game.
Um,
It's a fun game while it's new, but once you play it for a while, it gets you get tired of it.
let's see. Uh, Peppers, please.
Peppers, please. Peppers. Who's did it? God damn it. Papers, Please is. I think it's it's a unique game. It's very fun, very simple. Inspired a lot of other games. That's Not My Neighbor. It inspired a bunch of different games that came after it. I love this. The simplicity of it works really well. It does a really good job at making each day more difficult. So even when you think you finally have a grasp on what's going on, they throw something new at you to keep it interesting, to keep it fun, to keep the gameplay going. Multiple different endings for you to get, multiple ways to play the game, choosing some really crazy like moral questions to get you to think about, which is kind of insane. Was bad for a playthrough with another person, though. It is a good when you're playing it by yourself for recording. I think it works really well. I don't think it worked for us though, and that's why we did one playthrough and then never came back to it. So I'm gonna put it here. I think it's a fantastic game. It really is. It just wasn't. We weren't good enough at commentary yet, I think, for us to really take full advantage of it.
I mean, maybe we could now someday, or nowadays, when now no commentary is better.
Maybe. I'd be down to play it again sometime.
Papers. Fuck.
You-
God.
You did this.
Sorry. Papers, please. Someone said it again. God.
Peppers.
Yeah. Stop. I'm just. Fuck. Papers, please. Again, this game is okay. We rush through. Papers, please. Like it's like a game where it's another game where it's like playing where alone it can definitely be a very addicting, very rewarding, very addicting because you get a bunch of people and can get different outcomes, and you make decisions that affect the future of the game, and you have a balance of finances, even if that isn't the central the central quarter game. It's still there. There are some good characters. There are some. I mean, there are some recurring characters, like again, Jorge. I think that's his name. Which he's great. It gives us a look at what working at an airport. No,
border security.
Border security is like when there's a place that's infested by terrorism, which I guess is certainly an experience. But in terms of playthrough, yeah, our commentary when we played this just wasn't good enough because we definitely played this very, very early when our commentary was still struggling, wasn't sure what to say. But now that we've gone through so many different games, like good God, like look at the amount of games there's to us. I'm sure our commentary has
definitely once we get to next year, we'll probably start trimming some of them.
Yeah. Our commentary has definitely gotten much better. So I wouldn't mind. So yeah, if we definitely because we didn't finish it, we still have many different other endings. But I'd be more than happy to like give it another try and see how commentary goes. But for now, relative to our very first playthrough, it didn't work. It's gonna go in but between They Look Like Us and Return to Ravenhurst.
Looking up.
I see only a sky. Oh, the ceiling. Oh!
Wow.
I
thought you did that. I thought you said that as a joke.
No, I didn't. It's because we always do like the what's up joke. We just always. You just always like what's up, and I always see the sky. It's like that's I think it's This is your fault. But anyway, looking up, I see only the feeling. Um, um, very very short game, but very effective at what it was accomplishing. The story it tells, it can be it's left to it's open ended, but it has a very pretty clear story about what was going on. Um, the base game, unfortunately, is I think extremely short, like way too short. Um, there's not a whole lot there, but the DLC is great. Um, I really like that you have to go around collecting all the candles, and that determines what one of the endings that you get. I really like that. I really like the games where there's always like the good ending and then there's a question mark. I always appreciate that because that always gives like a nod to like just hey go and play more. And I always enjoy replayability, especially in a short and sweet game like this. Um, the story it tells is um that's very effective because it deals with time constraint, anxiety, stress, which of course um, we've all experienced, and especially myself dealing with dealing with anxiety and stress a whole lot. I can definitely relate to that. I can definitely appreciate what this game's going for, but unfortunately, it's just far too short. But still, it was an enjoyable experience. It's gonna go in um bottom of C for me.
You basically summed up all my thoughts with the addition of that I really think the art is extremely pretty. It's a very simple game, but I really like the art. I like that the DLC is definitely better, which it makes sense that it was a separate kind of thing. Really good for how cheap it is. I might make a video on it at some point, like a smaller video, because it interested me so much. Um, it's very relatable, and a lot of, as someone who is literally like a ball of anxiety, it's very relatable. Um, I had a lot of fun doing it and getting the true ending, and apparently there's going to be more given the cliffhanger. So I'm excited to see what's coming ahead of us. So I'm going to put it right here.
Um, Carrion or
Carrion,
Corian.
Carrion, Carrion was very fun. It was a game that I have owned for years. I never finished it, and it's a very unique puzzle game where you're basically playing a sci-fi game or like a sci-fi horror movie from the perspective of the alien, like the alien parasite, like basically the thing, but you're playing as the thing. It's really cool. Very fun. A little too long for my taste. I think it could be a little bit shorter and be better. And I know Ark didn't like it very much. Um, I thought it was fun. Originally I did want to make a video on it, but I probably won't anymore. Um, even still, I had a great time playing this game. Just wrecking people is incredibly satisfying within the game. So, I'm gonna put it at the top of C.
Yeah, I do think it's very in a very nice change of pace and very interesting that you get to play as a monster for once rather than the hero trying to escape the monster or trying to avoid it. But that apparently that leads to a consequence of again the game the game this game unfortunately feels like it lasts a little bit too long. Um, and again, this is another game where I feel like the player has a lot more enjoyment out of what they're doing than just the watcher, and seeing this giant, massive red fleshy thing just um wreak havoc and then gobble other people up. Was honestly in the beginning it was extremely enjoyable to watch, but at some point it just um lasted a bit too long. But even still, even though it wasn't the best game we played, I know that around this point is when our commentary really began to improve. I remember having like some great laughs with you while during our playthrough of this game. So for that reason, it's not the greatest, but it is still gonna land in the uh bottom of the very bottom of C.
Reach.
Halo Reach. Halo Reach is
Reach for
a
the
very
sky.
a very amazing childhood game for me because Halo Reach was the apart from Dynasty Wars, Halo Reach was the game that I basically solely got the Xbox 360 for back in middle and high school. And the middle and high school days was some of the happiest times outside of right now dating you. So
Aww.
yeah, I mean, can't you say the same? So
I know
so it's
it's
like
just cute to hear.
you're welcome. Um, the so I mean, it's Halo. Of course, the gameplay's fun. The campaign is great, but the biggest, but even outside of childhood memories and how much fun I've had playing with friends over multiplayer in this game, and the hundreds, if not thousands, of hours I've sunk into this
Oh,
game. Uh, um, the fact that you know we play this when I came to visit, and that visit is one of the very best experiences of my entire life says a lot. But well, I mean, if I was ranking that, if I was ranking this with including everything in the visit, then it would be like it would be even higher than Spookiest, obviously. But taking into account just our experience of playing like together, you know, it's a little bit embarrassing to say, but just us um snuggling as we're playing, it's like making fun of each other, making lighthearted chat.
every time I die, I just attack you
Yeah,
and
and
to
the
try and
joke
make you die too.
we made where like, oh hey, you see me, it doesn't mean to kill you. It's still it's just still so
Or I'm
amazing.
standing on the edge of the cliff so the spawn kills me.
Yeah. Um. It's. I mean, playing this game. I mean, of course, it's much better than one word apart. But just starting up with you, playing this with you, it was so comfortable and it was so enjoyable. This goes in the very top of the S tier for me.
I also am very similar with Halo Reach was a big part of my childhood ever since I was little. Um, at first, like when I was really little, I played Halo 2. That was the big game for me. Just the multiplayer though. I never played the campaign because it was my disc was broken. Um, but then Reach and 4 were the big ones that I played as a kid, like a teenager. And what you said you spent hundreds of hours in it. I probably spent hundreds of hours in Forge. Specifically in Forge World. I did so many things in Forge World. I made my cousin play Forge World with me all the time when I was younger. Um, but yeah, it's such a. It is to me the best Halo game, without question, so far. I mean, take it to my experience is not very great, and I can't wait to. I am excited to eventually play the other games with you. Um, and if this one was any indication, it's gonna be a lot of fun. This is the first time that I ever played Halo on a difficulty higher than normal and with as actual skull on, and it was surprisingly fun, despite dying constantly, because it made it feel like the progress was like we really had to fight to get the progress, and it made the progress so much more rewarding. You're slowly corrupting me and making me enjoy difficulty.
Sweetie, you're cutting out again. I couldn't understand what you just said. Can you repeat it? Can you repeat that?
Are you messing with me?
No, I'm not messing with you.
Okay, I said you're corrupting me and making me appreciate difficulty more.
Can you repeat that? I need to hear that again.
Shut up. I it's very fun.
Please.
I'm sad that we didn't get a chance to actually finish it. We got really close though, and I'm very excited to play it and the rest of the games with you. And I may consider playing it on a higher difficulty even with you sometime. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. That was even hard was it was like hard was brutal but fun. Legendary, I feel like would toe that line and not be fun anymore. It was great though, and I can't wait to play more with you. So if ranking it on just our playthrough, it's already really high, but I just have so many memories attached to this game that honestly,
Snug,
it's
snug.
also yeah, snug. It's also
Kiss,
great
kiss.
for
That was. Aw. Ah! No gushing right now.
me. Kiss.
Um. Let's see. Yakuza. I couldn't play through Yakuza 1.
You want to do Yakuza 1 before 0?
I mean, either way, we didn't really follow like a certain pattern.
I mean, I guess
Like
we
with
did flip side first, so I guess that
yeah.
makes sense. Current Yakuza Kiwami. We are currently on chapter 11, I think, is where we stopped. Yakuza. I've known about Yakuza for a long time. It wasn't until like a little bit before Yakuza 0 that someone actually told me what the game was about, and they described it as basically like GTA but with the insanity and funniness of anime, and they are absolutely right. That's basically what it is. And it is oh my god, it is some of the most fun that I have ever had playing video games. Just straight up fun. It is so funny playing it with you. It is so. You would think it would get repetitive, that the combat would get repetitive, and it just doesn't because of the way that the game is designed. It's just fun. It's very rewarding. It's very fun. I love the characters. I get so invested in the stories somehow, even though like normally these are the kinds of stories that I wouldn't really find interesting at all. But somehow Yakuza makes them interesting and fun, and I'm so eager to see more. Um, and it's just God, it's just so funny playing with you. I feel like we were already kind of experiencing this with Yakuza 0, but I feel like with Yakuza Kiwami, we've been really dialed in to how funny we can be playing this game. Still, fucking stupid Haruka free sample is so stupid. I love it so much. Just Kiryu eating dog food. Oh my god. I every time we play I always get so excited to play it. Um Even now just like looking at it, I'm like god, I can't wait to play more. It's so great. The side stuff is also really fun. I like the sub stories. I love everything that they give you in the game to like see everything. Obviously though, Kiwami, it's a remake of the very first game. It is not as good as 0, but it is very good on its own rights. I am heavily enjoying my time with it.
I'm
Um,
glad. I am too.
I'm gonna put
Hey,
in.
Downey, before you put that up there, I just want like to take note of like how every tier from SS to C is all, you know, has the same amount of
Yeah,
games. In that.
I noticed that too.
Uh, so yeah. Oh wow, I'm screwing more negative this time. Well, actually, it's more like yeah, okay. Anyway, Yakuza Kiwami. Wow, it's a Yakuza. It's a series that's so enjoyable. The whole running jokes we keep making for the Kyotos is hilarious.
Excuse
Every
me.
time we
Excuse
play,
me. Excuse
we
me. Excuse me.
yes,
Excuse me.
excuse me, and then the free sample, free
Free sample?
with free sample. It's every time we play it, I just get so excited because I just know for a fact, 100% certain, not 99%, 100% certain that we're always gonna have fun. And I'm so happy that we got to experience like this series together. But just know that every game in this series is gonna be just
It's one
as
of those,
fun.
normally I'm so put off by something being so long and such a commitment, but Yakuza is the kind of thing where I cannot wait to spend the next couple years playing through all the games with you. It's gonna be so fun. And the fact that there are so many of them is honestly cool. I'm happy that there's so many.
Sweet, I can barely. You cut out really bad. I don't know if you just stop talking or not.
I did.
Like it's so bad that I clearly couldn't tell what you were saying anymore.
Hi, hello?
Hello, hi.
Okay, you should be good to go now.
Okay, Yakuza. Again. Anyway. Uh, to me, it's funny with all the jokes we make, and funny, but in like me being a sadist kind of way, which is kind of revenge for all the sadism you give towards me. In that, with you getting shot like 10 billion times, because I one boss, I just couldn't help. I couldn't help just cackle the entire time. But just that was
That
just so fun.
that fight and against the cheater.
Yeah, that was. Honestly, I can't wait to see what other bosses they're on this game, but I just don't really cackle like like a madman just to see you. It's like, uh, you were trying to offend like Rena and just not Rena, the bartender just like giving shot like 10 times like oops, get him dead too. So funny to me, but yes, like even though we would only like turn oh no like not even probably not even halfway through the game, it's just so fun. The other game, Princess of Ansel, even though we haven't finished, it's still in C. But Yakuza as a series and my experience playing with you, it just always has been so fun. It hasn't been exhausting at all. It's just every time we play it, just I'm always looking forward to it, no matter what. So it's gonna go in it's gonna go to the top of 8 for me.
ZA.
Oh boy, ZA. ZA is my first exposure with a Legends game, and oh man, was it not let down? This cast of Kyotos and ZA is easily the best one that we've ever had, in my opinion, throughout the entire Pokemon franchise. Emma, Tawny, Gwyn, Harmony, freaking Quabo, Leah, Naveen, like Ansha, Corina. There's so many standouts, and it blows my mind that this is Kalos, like genuinely, because I'm definitely of the opinion that X and Y is somewhat like the worst games of the series, because the story is whatever. The Kyotos may as well not exist. The rivals are god awful. Um, except for like Caleb and Serena, which the protagonist as it tends to be. Even after Sword and Shield, I've held the opinion that multiple rivals don't really work out too well. Like this, like some of the kills get left behind. Um, and you just have like this empty feeling, like there's not much to be desired. Like I think like B's story like kind of just came to a sudden end. Moni's like she appeared a few times and took over her brother's role as a team leader, and that's basically all there was to it. But then this game came along, and every single rival kiddo, Bay and Tani, Leah, and Naveen all had like an actual role to them. They all had actual kill development. The side missions weren't for me in these types of games. The side missions are usually repetitive and boring, but in this game, I made sure to go out my way to complete them all. But I just love this game so much. Tawny and Harmony is, but we both have come to agree that they're both so freaking cute together. Um, and the story is actually good. Which I know is a controversial opinion, but yeah, it's actually good. Even as someone who's critical, the DLC, in my opinion, is absolutely worth the price. Again, to experience all the new megas with the and just spending more time with the characters. The and just it's phenomenal. And this, in terms of my personal enjoyment, this would easily be an SS. But in terms of just watching us play, even experiencing us playing this together, it just barely misses out compared to Scarlet and Violet, but it's still gonna be in a very, very top of S tier. It's not even gonna think about this one.
I know that I kind of go back and forth on these two, but I honestly think that I do prefer ZA overall. It's an immensely fun game. I love it to death. Um, Emma, self-explanatory Emma, freaking became like my third favorite character of all time. Um, for reasons. Uh, I love
Freaking.
I love the entire cast. Like the only character that I don't like is Laban. That's the only character that I don't like. Every other character to me is like the peak of Pokemon character design, both in terms of appearance and personality. They're just immaculate. I love Lumiose. Lumiose is incredible. It's so much more fun to explore Lumiose than it was to explore Hisui. The environments are so much more well done. The story mode is incredible. It made me actually like megas when previously I thought they were stupid. It's just Pokemon at its best is what Legends is to me. It is Pokemon at its full potential, and I cannot wait to see what else they come up with, because I just know, because it feels like with the main series games they work, but that does feel like sometimes they're locked to specific things. The Legends games feel like they've been able to give Pokemon developers and like the creators way more creative freedom that they haven't been able to really have in a long time, and it really shows. So I can only hope that the constant success of the Legends games helps show them that people want more, and that they keep making them, because God, they're so good. And then Yakuza 0. Honestly, I kind of want to put this above DDLC. I honestly think I might. Again, it is without question some of the most fun that I've ever had playing a video game. I think the only thing that I could compare it to is the kind of pure elation and joy that I felt playing Breath of the Wild for the first time. It is just, it is such a well crafted game. Perfect mix of humor, seriousness. The characters are incredible. The voice acting is really good. The gameplay, the combat is very varied and interesting and fun, and I love the upgrades. I love the Club Sunshine. I love that storyline. I love doing the real estate with Kiryu. That was fun. I love all the mini games that you can do. I love all the completionist stuff that you can do. I'm a completionist. I love having this stuff that you can do. It is, the settings are really cool. I love the humor. It is, in my opinion, one of the most perfect games that I have ever played. I love it so much that I've played it for 100 hours. I've played it for like 40 hours more than I played through. It is so good. and I am very glad that it was our first game because it drew me into the series immediately. And while it does make me worried that none of the other games are going to compare to it, I'm already liking Yakuza Kiwami 1 is probably going to be the weakest in the series, and it's already really good. So I have such high hopes for this series. No, yeah, I'm going to do it. I don't care. Yakuza 0 is one of the most fun games I've ever played in my entire life. And then playing it with you just made it so funny. And I am so excited to play more of the series with you in the future.
You basically summarized every single word I said. The characters are great. The game was overall so fun. The story was great. We had so many funny moments. This game is easily up there for one of the most memorable of all time. Top Vestio. No, it's not. I mean, well, yes, yeah. Okay. Because yeah, the only reason it misses out on SS because I feel like, of course, Spookies and DLC is just so important, but also just like Scarlet Violet. The Scarlet Violet one is because it has such a huge turnaround. It's just like Juliana. It's because Juliana. So but yeah, Yakuza is the very top of everything that isn't just absolutely just so special to me. Because don't get me wrong, this game is absolutely also special because it's absolutely the series that I've had the most one of the most enjoyable times playing with you like ever, and the amount of laughs we've had and the amount of jokes we cracked and the the fact that this is the catalyst that made us realize that we both wanted to play like the entire series in the future. I can't be grateful enough. It's just an amazing game, and I really wish I could have played experienced it myself, but unfortunately, it's just switched to exclusive with. So oh well, but even still, it's absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait to experience the entire series with you in the future.
All right. There we go. This is Ark's full tier list, and this one is mine.
I love that you just look like a staircase.
I say screw the bell curve. Um, yeah, I feel satisfied with this. Um, oh, I can't wait to see what we put on this next year. Because we added some bangers this year. I mean,
Yes, we did.
Catherine, Nier, Yakuza, we added some good games this year. So I can't wait to see what we're doing next, what we got next year. Though we will probably start removing some of them.
Right.
Especially the ones that we only played like a little bit. Like we'll probably remove this one, this one, this one, this one. Definitely, I can see. We'll keep the big ones like DRA because this one's just like so important, you know.
Mhm.
But man, I love doing these videos, just talking about these games, and like in the case of Yakuza 0, just like shoveling all my praise onto it. Definitely, Yakuza is definitely my basically my favorite game of 2025.
Aw. I mean, that makes sense.
Again, Spookies is always going to be at the top because of just how important it is to both of us. But Yakuza was definitely the game that I fucking enjoyed this year or last year, I guess.
Remind remind me in retrospective. Did you say like did you mention like how important this game was? Like the fact that we started dating it for your retrospective.
I don't remember honestly. It's
Okay.
such a long script. If I didn't, then I'll probably add that in the outro. I'll probably revise the
Yeah.
outro to add that. I do talk about how important it is to me in the intro, but I don't think I mentioned specifics.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe to see more. And we will see you in the next one.
Bye
Bye.
bye.